What is up, everyone? Coffee Break is back with another video. Please stay tuned towards the end as I answer some of your questions. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with 49er news and updates. But we have an NFC West showdown. The Rams face the San Francisco 49ers. This time in LA. 49ers coming off the bye week. Should be getting some players back in action. Tevin Coleman and Deebo Samuel were limited in practice today as of Wednesday. We're still waiting to hear word on all the rest of those guys who are on the reserve list, hoping they can play. And also players on IR such as Richard Sherman and Raheem Mostert may get some playing time, which is great news for the 49ers. But then you have the Rams, who are coming off that emotional win against the Bucs Monday night, have to travel back to the West Coast to face the Niners, who are well rested. So if the 49ers have an advantage here, they got a nice scheduling break, which, I mean, we'll take any advantage at this point. Niners, again, can't seem to catch a break all year. The 49ers are fighting for their lives pretty much. A win keeps them in the hunt for a playoff spot, and a loss pretty much wraps the season up with 5 games left to play after this one. So what can the 49ers do to win this game? Well, having healthy players definitely matters. So the 49ers may be coming in healthier than they've been since, week 1. The loss of Kittle and Jimmy will definitely be felt in this one. They had those two in the first matchup, and Kittle was a key factor. So you'll have to rely heavily on the run game and use Deebo and Ayuk. Give the ball to these guys. I'm telling you, there's not a more physical duo out there. Take some of that pressure off Nick Mullins. The Rams have a top defense. They rank first in yards allowed. They are really greedy. They rank second in points behind the Steelers. It's a top defense we're facing. Don't get it twisted. Again, Ayuk has to be clear to play. I'm assuming test negative the next couple of days. They have until Saturday to activate him. So a lot is up in the air, but that's the type of season it's been. My thing is just come out and be the more physical team. The Niners were that in the first meeting against the Rams. Mostert, Deebo, Kittle, whoever touched the ball was finishing the run with some thump and authority. The Niners need to get back to that. The less we have to rely on Nick Mullins passing, the better chance the Niners will have in winning this game. That's kind of been the recipe for wins for the Niners. When they are pounding the ball, running the rock, the odds of them winning go up dramatically. But you have a Rams team who is on a little bit of a hot streak, beating back-to-back playoff teams. I mentioned beating the Bucs last week. They also beat the Seahawks the week prior. So the Rams, who are fighting for the NFC West title, neck and neck with the Seahawks, I think they will come more prepared this time. They will be ready to take on the challenge. I think Aaron Donald will show his presence. He was a no-show last matchup with Daniel Brunskill just keeping him on check all game. That was the big surprise. Then you factor no Jimmy Garoppolo, who played he's always played well against the Rams. So you have that, and then no Kittle, who had a monster game against them. Where is that production going to come from? I love Mullins. I think he's a really decent backup quarterback, but can I expect him to beat a red-hot Rams team? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll say this. If the Niners can start the same way they did against the Saints, getting a quick 10-0 lead, I think they can win this game. If they are kind of neck and neck throughout the game, or if the Rams have a lead, then I think the 49ers lose the game. The Niners are terrible when they have to come from behind, when they have to catch up. That's not their game. But that's just me. Let me hear your thoughts on how the game will go in the comment section below. Do you think Nick Mullins can beat this Rams defense? Let me hear from you, faithful. Now on to answering some of your questions. The first question comes from Multi-Zombie. They say, if the Niners were to make a new uniform, what would you choose as their home, away, and alternate? It's a very interesting question. For my alternate uniform, I kind of like the all white, the 90s uniforms, the ones they've been wearing the last couple of years. I really love those. I think those are the best uniforms they have. But honestly, I mean, I wouldn't change much. I'd keep them relatively the same. I like them. I think the Niners have a very classic look to them, and have one of the best looks in all of the NFL. So I like the red jersey, gold pants, white jersey. It doesn't matter. What I would change though is just removing the all black alternate uniforms. I really wasn't a big fan of those. Next question is from Ahmed Ismail. What's your opinion on the future at quarterback? Should we draft and build around a rookie like Zach Wilson, or should we sign a free agent veteran? Also ask, is the season over, or does a win against the Rams keep us alive? To answer your last question first, I think the season is over. I mean, I don't see the Niners making the playoffs. Yeah, they can beat the Rams, but they'll have to win out. They'll have to go like 5-1, which with the injuries they have, I mean, what are the odds? The question about the quarterback, I do think the Niners tackle it one or two ways. I think either they keep Jimmy or they draft a young quarterback. I don't really see them getting a free agent quarterback, a veteran like a Carson Wentz. Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins doesn't make financial sense. So to me, it really just comes down to keeping Jimmy or draft the young quarterback and roll with him. Question from Trevor, what do you think the 49ers should do with free agents like Jason Verrett and Jaquiski Tartt next year? It's a good question. I would roll with Jason Verrett. I think you could get him for cheap. He's played fantastic. I mean, hell, he might even be a Pro Bowler. Jaquiski Tartt, I think he's out of the 49ers price range. I mean, he'll be too pricey. The Niners are kind of in this financial handcuff. I think he's on the outside looking in. Jose asks, how do you see the team shaping up if Saleh takes a head coaching job? I feel like they screwed up not extending him. I personally don't think this team won't be the same and start to fall apart. People forget Saleh was almost out of here this year. You know, he almost got hired by the Browns. The Browns ended up going with Stefanski, but you know, he interviewed for that job, that head coaching job. So I think, yeah, I mean, the seasons with the 49ers are numbered in a good way, because sometimes you outcoach your position. Sometimes you're just that good and you need to take it to the next level, which I think Robert Saleh is. He's at that level. He's kind of at the cusp of being a head coach, and it just all depends on how, you know, I guess Black Monday, which is the Monday following the last game of the season, how those chips fall. Are owners looking at the situation like with this whole COVID thing? Maybe they give coaches a longer leash. Maybe they try it for another year, which will kind of keep Saleh at bay at the moment. But yeah, whatever you can do to retain him, I think that's out of the Niners' control. It's really up to him, and if that opportunity presents itself, he'll probably take it. But again, yeah, it'll be a huge blow. I think Saleh has earned my respect. Early on, I was super critical of him, but he's been fantastic. He's been a fantastic coach and one of the top DCs in the league, no doubt. Do you think it's time to move on from Jimmy G? Yeah, I definitely think that, and I'll be making more videos on young quarterbacks because I honestly think the 49ers should draft one here in the 2021 draft. Do you think Kyle doesn't know how to call it quits on some players? For example, Dante Pettis, who he finally let go, and McKinnon, who really isn't looking that good with his tired legs. Yeah, I mean, with Shanahan, I think his problem is he's too loyal at times to his guys. That's played in his system before. Part of the growth here that I like to see from Shanahan is knowing when to make the right personnel call. So, you know, the McKinnon example is this year, but last year it was the Tevin Coleman, you know, playing over Mostert. That's my biggest critique of Shanahan as of late, is knowing just when to like move on from a player. Dante Pettis was just, he shouldn't have been in this roster this year. He should have been traded way back in the draft. Get whatever you can, a 5th round. You ended up getting nothing out of him now, but yeah, just being too loyal ends up hurting you and hurting the team. Niners will sign Corey Linsley. You know what? I honestly had to search who Corey was to be quite honest with you. Playing for the Packers now, free agent after this year. I mean, if he's better than the options we have right now at center, why not? We need to bolster up this O-line. And yeah, free agency would be one way to go about that. So I wouldn't be surprised. Thanks everyone for submitting your questions. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to stay up to date with 49er news and updates. I want to thank you for watching. And as always, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.